it's how it ended at Bramall
Yeah, yeah,
Lane, and Nick just mentioned booing players. I never booed you. I
yeah.
did hear fans boo
You
you.
liar.
I never booed you, Des. I'll tell you now, the way it ended at Bramall
Yeah,
Lane actually hurt me
yeah, yeah,
because I remember you were quoted at the time saying you would walk over broken glass to go back to Birmingham,
yeah.
and I can speak for a lot of Blades and say that hurts. So
Yeah,
do you want to address that?
yeah, I mean, I've spoken about it before, and I said probably in my career, I had 15 years as a pro. It's probably one of the few regrets I've got. I don't remember actually saying that, to be honest with you, but it's one of the few regrets I had was the way it finished at Sheffield. I mean, I'll tell you what happened. That they were offering me a new contract, and I think I'd turned 30. I was coming up to 30, and the club were only giving out 2-year contracts. And Neil and Derek Dooley, God bless him, were, trying to convince me to sign. I said, well, I want longer than 2 years. And to be fair to Neil gave me the spiel. You're gonna be the top paid player and blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I'm not bothered about that. I want 4 years because I thought that would give me, it's going to be my last decent contract. And in the end, they agreed on 4 years. I tell you what, it was $4,000 a week. It was $4,000 a week for 4 years, right? Brilliant at the time. I was happy. And then a week later, he bought in Carlos Saber on $8,000 a week. So I've got, no, you told me, all different things. And I remember Ned giving me a bollocking about it, really, because he says, no, Dev, he said, if you're happy to sign that on X amount, you shouldn't be bothered what other people come. So anyway, it sort of started off as that a little bit. But I was happy to sign the 4 years, and it was great. But then I had a phone call from someone who said, would you be interested in going to Palace? Steve Bruce wanted to sign me for Palace. And they were talking big, like, life-changing money. And I thought, well, I'm 30 now, so I approached the gaffer about it. Didn't want me to go. That all sort of subsided, and then obviously Brucey got the Blues job and got in touch via people as managers do. Then would you come back to Blues? And that's how it all started. And I didn't handle it well. I didn't handle it well, and like I say, it was a big regret. Ended up, the crowd got on my back a little bit. I sort of was moaning back at them. Put the transfer request in, and then another, Neil handled this brilliantly as well. It sort of all broke down, and Neil, he'd never sort of kicked me out. He just went, listen, Dev, have some time on your own, do your own training. If it happens, great. If it don't, I'm desperate for you to come back and play. And that's what happened. It all sort of fell through, and I'll never forget, we were playing Norwich away, and Neil put me straight back in the team, Norwich away in the teller. So I played Norwich, and I sort of got my head around the fact was, well, it's all gone now. I've had a mad 6 months, and I haven't handled it great. I've got 4 years left at Sheffield. I'll get my head down and carry on to try and win the crowd back and see the 4 years out. So I played that game at Norwich. Got off the bus on, I think it was a Sunday game, Sunday night. He said, get yourself down to Birmingham. You're signing for Birmingham tomorrow. So I went down to Blues, signed a month loan, then another month loan, and then I actually signed permanent. I think it was the day before the playoff final. So I'd gone from thinking it was on, it was off, to definitely off, to it was all back on. But Neil handled it great. But it was me that didn't handle it great, really, because the club had given me 4 years. The long and short of it was, mate, I got my head turned. It was the chance to go back to Birmingham with my family and all that, and I took that chance. And it is a big regret because I did get a bit of stick, rightly so. From certain sections of the crowd, all I ask is for, people look at the 4 year picture rather than the last 3 or 4 months. I had some fantastic times up there, made some lifelong friends up there. Still go back now and again, and it is probably my only regret in football that the way, and it was me. It was nothing to do with the club. It was all on me. The way I handled leaving.